you, thank you. Again, good morning, everyone. Thank you. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you, okay, everyone. Thank you. Okay, we begin our opening prayers. Page 1, I believe. Yon zim jo gen edom ni ebe maim jo ne yesra kor de wan de maim bu kor ji ji yesu da ro ji sin Yon sen joy gen edom ni ebe maim jun he yesra kor de wan de maim bu kor ji ji yesu da do ji Yon zim jo gen edom ni ebe maim jun he yesra kor de wan de maim bu kor ji ji yesu da do ji Page 5. Kunzai dorzen goyra yeresen be magara yen ben yuma sozorayım ya derdaim jazazo oga darala Mahayana la zorwandi
Por de san je be me ring long jo ngai jo ro do ro je ni gu da ya do ji so ro je je ra na wa ra je be em khen je ju ji jo la so ro wa ni Homage, Jia Boy Brana, the Son San Jiang Oni, Rase Jugo and Zion Dom Deba, Zavela Meya La Zorwandi. Paradin Zavela Rinpoche Daigi Orbe Medin Yolan Kaidin Jembe Goyane Jizonde Gozon Do Jengda Saradu Samanda Badara, Rajas of the you got you also wanted in the you look
the essence of all the Buddhas of the three times.
So securely Dharma Kaya on my mind, the praise, honorable Guru, glorious root teacher is one. Hold me your great kindness, bestow me knowledge and speaking mind. Now page 41, Bodhisattva practices or mantras. Yom Dende Bara Durja Sambala Sanza Lo Bendra Sado Samaya Mana Balaya Bendra Sado Denoba Titande Do Me Bava Yasukde Kayo Me Bava Yasukde Chayo Me Bava Anarakdo Me Bava Sarvasit Mevdayata Sarva Grama Sutta Me Tadam Shriyan Guru Hong Ha Ho Bhagami Sarva Dadanga Daham Bendra Mami Manza Bendra Bhavama Samaya Sado Om Bendra Sado Samaya Mana Balaya Bendra Sado Denoba Titande Do Me Bava Yasukde Kayo Me Bava Yasukde Chayo Me Bava Anarato Me Bava Sarva Siddhi Me Dayeta Sarva Grama Sutta Me Tadam Shriyan Guru Hong Ha Ho Bhaga Tatanga Dhamma Bendra Mami Manza Bendra Bhavama Samaya Sado Om Bendra Sado Samaya Mana Balaya Bendra Sado Tenoba Titande Do Me Bava Yasukde Kayo Me Bava Yasukde Chayo Me Bava Anarato Me Bava Sarva Siddhi Me Dayeta Sarva Grama Sutta Me Tadam Shriyan Guru Hong Ha Ho Bhaga Sarva Datanga Dham Bendra Mami Manza Bendra Bhavama Samaya Sado Om Bendra Sado Om Bendra Sado Om 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 Bendra Sado Om Bendra Sado Om Bendra Sado Om Bendra Sado. Back to page 7. Saye biji zoye me do do re roi ling ye de jambande sanje yende me de bro ye ndo go no da la jo barai jo edam guru reta mendal
Kanarya Daya Me Simja Namja Samba Adang Loye Sevdra Jedara Chejong Tumoy Dogwaye Chujang Korol Korada So Dar is in the Dagaludum Mandala Kainarya Tayame, according to the wishes of the sentient beings in their capacities. Please stand the way of the Dharma. Rồi những cái chúng tôi chụp được còn đến dùng bao nhiêu bây giờ những con dùng gì giờ bộ trình chỉ sao vào làm mấy chỗ đó có dùng cái bao nhiêu biểu con này sao đó luôn chụp tôi chụp dùng gì có dùng gì là phần đấy đó 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 đến tất cả dùng chung qua thằng như dùng bây giờ là những cái này là qua chắc rồi này sang đó là đó mấy đến xây dựng dùng gì là đó rồi trong cái tổ chức gì rồi hiện giờ mà thấp điều gì cũng dùng bảo sợ cái làm bộ tàu rồi gì vậy chắc giờ rồi gì là làm sao đó origin sao lên bên bên đó Ôi giờ rồi nằm rồi rồi hiện giờ rồi bây giờ này mà nhau này giờ là cái bên đi dùng số giờ rồi bây giờ mình rồi mình biết dùng đồ sao mà cũng nhớ ra bảo con chứ bây em giờ có quan chỉ em rồi giờ là rồi anh đi giờ rồi dùng đồ rồi cái này rồi dùng chim giờ rồi nhiều bên dùng ở biết rồi bảo con đồ sao mà đem bảo hành chim mà đó là rồi làm bao lần tôi đem bao giờ khi rồi các bạn chuyện đấy chỉ giờ đó mình bảo không nên dùng bao cái gì bảo hiểm quan chỉ cho bạn số rồi thì xong giờ ra cũng người rất vậy đó không thân nên làm việc có lợi chút rồi bọn họ sự bình thường tôi thất tôi chỉ biết mà dùng này cháu là xong sáng giờ xong bà chú cha thầm chân chẳng cả rồi chú cha đó là mà lấy bọn họ nào thầm chân tôi vẫn thế bọn họ xong thì gì rồi anh đi chỉ có nhà bạn như vậy rồi họ làm nên có xong rồi bây giờ bọn họ được rồi đó mà ngủ một luôn chỉ mấy hôm đó giờ là rồi anh đi nó sinh cái rồi cái này sinh đó làm nó ra cũng rồi hiện giờ mà bây giờ rồi cũng bảo rồi chú cha xong bây giờ rồi Rani nó nó đó rồi bắt đầu nhận những cái xong rồi nó đó rồi chú chỉ hết rồi nó có nhiều lắm rồi rồi giờ đó rồi chú chỉ tin giờ chăm chú rồi nó có rồi thì nó chỉ biết đến giờ ta thằng đó mà rồi chỉ giờ cầm tiền đó là chỉ đó hết thì nhiều giờ em đó tôi 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 sao không chỉ nó có nó giờ bảo hành mình nó có nhiều lắm rồi anh đi sao đó giờ sẽ bỏ cho nó đó bảo hàng rồi cho rồi sao mà làm cho nó hàng rồi nhưng mình chưa cho hàng có là rồi anh đi rồi nó chẳng bao giờ nữa xong một phần lòng này bỏ bớt tiền gì tôi chuyên tôi chăm sóc ngao viên rồi mà hoa gia nào chứ rồi anh đi người dân này thì tôi chỉ rồi mà hiện tại cái mình vào thấy rồi tôi biết chứ giờ tôi không đủ như vậy cái đồ chơi là rồi anh đi chỉ mới để em như không xong được gì họ xong nó đồ bé hơn năm giờ Khen cho ra cầm bánh rồi chân bò bên bao rồi giờ là rồi thì bắt đầu sang chế bên mẹ rừng lúc cho hiện hành cho tốt gì nhưng cứ tao đâu xong chỉ khi ra nào harap chế về quên chế chế cho là rồi thì yang tên sang chế còn đây nhớ nó có đến sang chế còn đây là quên sao làm mẹ giàu là rồi thì đó xong rồi lo na chula giờ nên là tôi có giờ rồi sinh gì tôi quên đã giờ rồi đang tự nhiên yên giờ rồi đang để xe đông đang đem ba cái dịp làm mẹ sinh gì tôi chỉ giờ hàng đồ rồi sinh gì rồi chỉ làm đồ rồi sinh gì rồi làm đồ rồi sinh gì Tani ki dan yo ra san je la de so kan da sob je dong ge jik ni no der ke lomar ajar ba kan so tandar dom be chu je char be je zamran do ba tam je andar de ge la ye ge dan lo dan nob ji ge trom da de ma ye ke na Roa kunje dana haja zamba dam jege do dag chiden do so dong ro ye jen ro ye chi ji nya so me bon ya war ra be la semje nam je ha dong do dam je na tam ba nam je nim do sar do semje nam je ke dong do dam je Tambanam je nim de dar de sim je nam je tong de dam je na tambanam je nim dar de je ro gan je dam be chun yin jing san je ba kan de na ra san go je ba na bra ju ha ye mong gar ba kan de je ba je. Thank you again. Good morning, good Rashidelics, everyone. Thank you. Okay. And also as well as everyone who are also connected to be together as through these beautiful technologies and beautiful way that we're connecting. Again, anyone who is connected, and we are going to explore the teaching of the Buddha Dharma according our best capabilities, with love, with joy, with devotion, with humble, with humility, and moving forward with confidence. And it's one of the very joyful, beautiful moments in our life, because we are touching to our goal of a true nature, as great teacher Buddha expounded or taught to us, and also inspired so many great beings throughout the generations since Buddha gave these teachings in the context of love, joy, appreciation, respect, non-violence. And that's how beautiful. Today we in this path, we are exploring that beauty, that systems, that technique, as we are already doing, but today we are reinforcing, encouraging, and kind of refreshing the understanding, knowledge, or some degree, to also learning and deepening our practices. And Buddha gave many different teachings, as you said. The teachings are all the same, basically. There's nothing any different. In here, you say example, every road leads to the Rome. It's true. Every teaching leads to the Buddha nature, enlightenment, discovering our innate nature. Nature in the context of the same thing, with joy and appreciations, and respect and appreciation to everyone, and exploring the beauty and nature of our everyone's. And that is, there's no difference. But however, there is a slightly different kind of sections what Buddha taught. Those are known as the basic Buddhism school teachings, and the Mahayana Buddhism teachings, and the Vajrayana Buddhism teachings. All the Charvaka teaching, Bodhisattva teachings, and Vajrayana teachings. And among that three, today we are kind of following the middle one, which is the Mahayana teachings. And Mahayana teaching is known as the teachings of the great loving kindness, compassion, that has no discrimination, no partialities. Love and compassion is equal to every living beings, and as well as to the planets, to everyone. Love is not restricted, compassion is not restricted, and wisdom is not restricted. And share that, explore that. That is what the Buddha said is nature of ours, nature of everyone's. It's not just a selected groups that nature, but nature of everyone. So everyone has love, compassion, wisdom to explore that nature without the hindrance and blockage of the negative emotions. That hindrance, they covered or blocked that. Today we're trying to clear away that, bring up the beautiful, brilliant sunshine quality of the from our within heart. Let that radiating to every directions, every time, to us, to every beings. That's what the teachings of the Mahayana and Vajrayana teachings, or the Mahayana teachings. And this teaching is then, as we said already, and you know, you have this text too. So we follow with this, because it's very convenient for me to follow this Tibetan. Also I have this both, Tibetan and English. So I follow with this. This, and as we discussed the other day, and these teachings that we look to the bird's eye views, these teachings, all those great masters mentioned, it has a three sections. Beginning as a title, middle as whole body of the teaching, and at end at the concluding and colophon of the teachings. Among that, we went of the first sections of that
titles. And now we reach to the middle part of the body of teachings. Middle part of the body of teaching, again we zoom in to as a bird's eye view, and it has also, first is homages, respect and appreciation to all the lineage masters, practitioners who taught this from the Buddha. Shakyamuni and great embodiment of that Buddha, or embodiment of enlightened beings, everyone as a companion. Our Lokideshwara, Genesis, compassion, so pay respect to all them. And then after that, the second section is line, second stanza is known as what's called the commitment, that I'm going to determine to explain this teaching from the time I started to the end. I'm going to finish this. That's what this second line, second stanza is, as you see this. So that completed. And now in the middle, the part of this is then whole body of the teachings. This teaching has then, as the title says, 37 practice of the Bodhisattvas. 37 practice of the Bodhisattvas. And so this is what now begins from this. And generally the Bodhisattva practice means, as you see, I'm sure you read this text already, but this tells genuine, authentic, loving kindness, compassion, and courage and commitment, and in a way surrounding our ego clingings. We're not really let ego decide to our directions. Let our genuine love, compassion, kindness, let take over this ego, ruling parties. Ego, take over that ego out and bring up genuine, unconditional love, unconditional compassion, and wisdom that understands perfectly and beautifully exactly as it is. And that is what this 37 practice of Bodhisattva is. It's not the teachings on the ego, it's not teachings on the self-centered thoughts, it's not teachings on the as self-important, or what. It is all compassion, loving kindness that has no ego interference, and keeping up that love and compassion with courage, commitment, with joy, combined together. Therefore, this practice is the practice of courage, practice of the commitment, practice of the joy and appreciations, and explore the beauty of our nature and the beauty of others. And now to begin this, to do this, then this is how this begins, this teaching here. As again, to this is stanza. I think here they put 1, so that begins with 37 practice of the Bodhisattvas here. And that is, if I read this, now that you have obtained a precious human body, the great boat so difficult to find, in order to free ourselves or yourself and others from the ocean of samsara. And to do this, to listen, reflect, meditate with the diligently day and night is the practice of the Bodhisattva. That is the number 1, 37 practice of the Bodhisattvas. And now, what is explaining? Now that you have obtained the precious human body, it is difficult to obtain or difficult to find. This is generally in the Buddha's teaching mentioned. Always, it's very difficult to find the precious life as we have ourselves. It's not just coincidentally happened or casually it happened. This our precious life, what we have, has so many beautiful circumstances, beautiful conditions, piled up all that in the favorable system to obtain this our beautiful life, beautiful situation. It is so magnificent, so marvelous. It's really difficult. This is also known as then 18 endowments. And here in Tibet we have Tamjur. Tamjur means 8 freedoms and 10 luxurious qualities. Even though maybe it's not exactly translated here. hear that. Hear that. But it is here, generally, of course, that it's 8 freedoms that we have. You have all, we are here, we have that, 8 freedoms. And 10 luxuries, that call it 10 luxuries, all together, 18 endowments we have. It's so special. And that also applies at freedom. Generally, according to Buddha's teaching, our life in here is not just beginning, nor is not the last. Our life we are here is a lives of the chains of life we talk in these samsaras. Samsara is the place where we are continually roaming and wandering in there. We take lives, life after life, life after lives. How we take the lives of births? According to Buddha's teaching, we take births according our karma, our karmic force. Karma is not somebody else did and overloaded to us. It is of one's own creation activities. Creation activities. As we have the dream. Dream is not overloaded by someone else and put to us in our head, the dreaming. We dreaming. We dreaming, we are the dreamer. We created the dream, we experience the dream, and we wake up from the dream. Same way, this situation is similar. We create the karmic dreams. And according to our karmic force, we take the dream, we take the birth of the dreams in a way. We take the dream, birth. So it's not the choice of ourselves to take the birth where we like to designate it, but it is the force and the power of the karma. We take the birth in the different realms. Where we take this place, birth, that is generally what we call in the Buddha teaching known as the samsara. We take the birth in the samsara. Samsara is not just a one samsara plate. Samsara, it has, according to Buddha teaching, there is 6 different places to take the birth. And those are known as hell realms, hunger ghost, animal realms, human realms, and asuras or the demigods, and then gods realms. So those are 6 realms. 6 migration places they will migrate by the force of karma. That was Vikrutas. And these first 3 are known as the lower realms. The more heavily loaded karma of the negatives, negatives karmas, those are hell realms, and hunger ghost realms, animal realms. Those are the heavy loaded karmic consequence brought up that nightmare vision of those 3 lower realms. And then there is 3 higher realms, and those are known as then human realms, as many of us, and semi-gods, demigod or asura realms, and then gods realms. Those are the 3. So among these 6, the 3 lower realms, we talk the birth, we've been talking, we don't have freedoms. We don't have freedoms. So therefore, we put present time ourselves, we're not on those 3 realms. Thanks to our good deeds of the past karma, we did something marvelous, beautiful things. We are out of those traps in a way, that karmic vision. Therefore, we have the great reason to be joy and appreciate our deeds of the past, even though we don't see exactly what we did in our past lives, but by seeing this result what we have, truly we did something beautiful, very nice things. Therefore, we are out of that traps of the three lower realms. Then even these human realms, there is so many human beings, and that's what many people says. This modern time say there's billions of them purpose. But to comparing, to look to this, to ourselves, is not just an arrogance kind of statement, but to ourselves, we are quite decent guys and girls. We are quite good guys and quite girls. Because in terms of our love and compassion, our respect and appreciations, our concern and thought to the other beings, we are quite good. I think we are doing quite good. Good. Therefore, we are out of the traps of the kind of like, again, negative environments. In a way, we are out of that game. And therefore, it's also, that is freedoms. So now, three lower realms and this second realm, we are out of the traps of the negative kind of situations, circumstances. That is the fourth. We are four freedoms. Then we are also not be as also in the three not in even upper realms. If you born, if you take the birth in one of the upper realms, in particular in the God's realm, according to the teaching of the Buddha, there is known as what's called the kind of like very sloppy, and as well as also very kind of sleepy state of the God's realms. They don't have really emotions, they don't have awareness, intelligence, very alert status. They almost kind of completely sleeping status, and like almost intoxicated status. There's no functioning of the intelligence, very actively involved. And they stay in that state long times, according to the teaching. So we are out of that realms too. That. And then, and then we are out of, also we are out of the other things, and which is known as then kind of like, also kind of like idea, our thought, and completely kind of like, completely blocked by the different tradition, the different systems, and kind of completely, we don't have any understanding of the what is really good things to do and what is the bad things to do. Kind of like completely our blood, our mind with the different kind of like idea and different philosophies, different systems, and then maybe we started doing many harmful activities to the other beings and as well as ourselves. We're not in that situations, not that status. So therefore, again, we have this luxuries of kind of open mind, clear mind, and kind of a nice situation, circumstance, both as this clear understanding. What is nice things to do ourselves, nice things to the others, and not kind of performing the kind of like disturbing activities. That is luxuries. That is freedoms. And now at the freedom is then, even we have the perfectly beautiful situation as a beautiful human beings, but our mind is completely kind of like blocked, and not have any open thoughts, completely kind of blocked our mind, and then just kind of always like become so skeptical, suspicious, and not having any kind of really like thoughts of the window of the another wisdom or light, completely kind of blocked. Then, even though everything is perfect and beautifully, there is then completely our mind become completely opposite. Even Buddha is right in front of you, that's not going to serve any benefit to this. This is the story that in the Buddha's teaching, there is like monk known as like who become the student of the Buddha Shakyamuni, and they even become the like kind of attendants or helping to the Buddha Shakyamuni, but he never opened his heart to the Buddha. Instead, he's always see the Buddha is is kind of very corrupted and crafty and cunning and has no good qualities at all. And what he have knowledge is similar. Knowledge what he have is same thing. I know these things, he thought. I know same thing what he knows. There is nothing any difference this. What he have is only he has something kind of a little bit glowing, the light, the aura that he have something little different than me, but otherwise I'm equal with him. I don't see any good. Even though been so long time with him it really didn't benefit because his mind is completely trapped and closed. There is no opening substance. If that happened, then again we trapped. For our case, our mind is a little open and alert, clear. We like to explore, we like to learn. Those are all known as at freedoms. So we have these all at freedom conditions. And then 10 luxuries. 10 luxuries, the 5 is related with ourselves, 5 are related with others. And that is then, again, similar such things that what I said already. So all together is known as 18 endowments. 18 endowments. This is what we have. All this 18 endowment. It's not just a coincidental. Really we have this beautiful situation came with our good deeds of the past karmas. And now for that, because it is something that we did in past good, and now what we have to do? Now is our time. We have to use this opportunity to bring more good things in the future. Past is kind of like behind. The present is right here. The future is our destination. To do the future good things, then what we have to do? We hear here in the teaching said. And to do this, and not just only to do only ourselves, because by practicing the Bodhisattva is, then here said, order to free ourselves and others. What we are going to free? What we are going to free? We are going to free our negative emotions. That is what we are going to free, the negative emotions. Negative emotions is listed in the next stanzas. Those are the ignorance, attachment, anger, jealous, hated thoughts, and arrogance. Those all is negative emotions. These negative emotions, and with having that thought in our heart and mind, if we perform the activity, then it become the bad karmas, negative karmas that hurt ourselves and as well as others. Then if that hurt, and what it does, also then it will hold us in samsaras. It will keep us in samsara. Negative emotions are the fuel, negative emotions that trap to hold us in samsaras. So in order to remove ourselves, liberate others from this samsara, then what we have to do? Here said, we have to bring up the great joyful effort, diligence. Diligence without like kind of like delaying ourselves. Not thinking in the future, but right now. We have to act right now. Now is the best. The present is the best times. Present is in our situation, in our controls. Future, who knows what will going to. This time we have every situation and circumstance in our favorable conditions, and therefore, then without the delaying, what we should do. Here said, listen, reflect, meditate. That is what we should do. What we are going to listen, what we are going to reflect, what we are going to meditate. This is according to Buddha's teaching. This is, we are going to start listening the Buddha teachings and contemplating or reflecting on the Buddha teachings and meditating on that. That is what we have to do. These three things are also known as in Buddha's teaching, three wisdoms. Wisdom that comes from the studying, wisdom that comes from the contemplation and reflecting, and wisdom that comes from the meditations. And now, this is again, how we're going to listen. Listen the teaching, that is, with the joy, with the appreciations. And there's always in the teaching said, with the beautiful motivations, you should listen the teaching. Motivation of the thinking that I'm going to improve my love and my kindness and compassion thought, and remove and clear away my duality thought or the negative habit pattern, and like the benefit like to my family, my friend, but to everyone. With that attitude, at least with that attitude, with great respect, listen the teachings. Listen the teaching, and this is what in the Buddha teaching always said, teaching said, listen carefully, perfectly, and keep that in the mind, what you learn. So that indicated is always in the teaching said, avoiding the 3 errors of the listenings. We don't, well, even we are in the kind of like in the group, if we don't listen carefully, and then it is kind of like almost like upside down. The pot is upside. They use example upside down pots. If you pour them, how much liquid in that, trying to put on that bowl, but bowl is upside down, it's not going to go inside. It's upside down, all is go out. That is one error and mistakes. Even we are listening this teaching. Second error is even we are listening this, but we don't really hold that. Keep that in the mind. Then even this stays, it comes inside, but it goes way out, and the same as that bowl has a hole, and even though it goes inside, but since this bowl has a hole, and then it leaks out, it just goes away that way. And the third errors of the listening, mistakes of the listening, is with emotions. Not with the joy, with the appreciation, kind of listening with some degree of the arrogance, some degree of the anger, some degree of the skepticals or thoughts, then it becomes mixed with the emotions. It's not good. For those reasons, in the Buddha's teaching said, listen carefully, keep the mind, and hold, listen perfectly, and hold that in the mind, then I will explain to you. That's what the Buddha teaching said. So, listen with joy, with the appreciation. Understand this. And then always in the teaching, always in the Buddha teaching said, teaching is not just a kind of like casual, right? Because it's really truth, it's teaching of loving kindness and compassion. Compassion is not just always kind of like casual talks. It's something touched to our core and our nature, the nature where everyone is so precious, it's beautiful, it's special. Therefore, with great honor and respect and joy, and listen the teachings. So that is the briefly about the listenings, kind of instructions of listenings. And the third is the contemplatives. Contemplative means teaching what you now receive the teachings. Listen and contemplate on that teaching. That Buddha Shakyamuni said himself in the teaching, you not just kind of believe what I said, you must reflect on the teachings. As goldsmith examine the purity of the gold. As goldsmith examine the purity or quality of the gold. As goldsmiths. And what goldsmith does, according to the teaching, the master says, to see its good quality of gold or not, they will burn in the fire, they will and they will cut, and then they will rubbing. These 3 things they will do. Similarly, when you receive the teaching, you should sharpen up that teaching with your own analysis, with the instructions of others. Put that is how it is really working, is true or not. That's what the Buddha said. You should examine that words as goldsmith does, and then when it's proved is good, then you should keep that. Then you should hold that. You should keep that. That's what Buddha said. So similarly, this is also one of the great voice lines roles. Never said by any teachers, do that. Buddha said, examine. Not just believe on my words, but you put that. Also, see if that proves. If that works, then you should apply. That is. And to do these things, and then, for example, in a debate, there's a lot of debating. Those debating things is also has two purposes. One is a kind of reputations and the reputation, but other things sharpen up your intelligence, knowledge, and debating. Kind of put inquiries back and forth with the group together, learn and brain. Then really it makes sense or not how it is. You sharpening up that. So that is once you did now listen beautifully and reflect beautifully, as we said, then the final goal of the studying or the listening and the reflecting is the practice. That is the practice. Now the teaching that what we received, we're not going to leave that as intellectual in the brain, in just a kind of as like informations, but we're going to absorb that into the heart and going to practice. We're going to make the difference. We're going to make difference to ourselves. We're going to help and inspire others to also follow that. To do this is known as practice. Here said meditation. Meditation and practice is now you're applying that what you learned, what you got, you're applying that. To do this, that is what in the Buddha's teaching, many of you know already. That is known as then shamatha meditation, vipassana meditation, and practice. According to different instructions of the basic Buddhism schools, so Theravadas, Mahayana and Vajrayana, there's a lot of variety of the techniques and how to approach and bring that beautiful result. So that will sink to our heart and really make the change and growth and explore our beautiful inner nature as we inherited. Bring forward that. That is then shamatha meditation, vipassana meditation, visualization in Vajrayana, and completion stage of practice. All those is what is known as meditation practice. So through this, if we apply these three things, then as much as we can be now, here said that day and night said, we can do day and night, but also it indicates the urgent of now. Now is the time. We're not going to say in the future, next time, some other times. If that we start saying, our time and opportunity maybe not going to stay forever as exactly as it is. Situations change, circumstances change, as we know that. So therefore, this is the what, if we do this is known as practicing of the Bodhisattvas. That is the practice of the Bodhisattvas. That is the foundation. This foundation is what? Because we got this beautiful 18 endowment, these beautiful freedoms, that is the foundation of the practice. This is the best of the practice. We have to take the advantage, opportunity with this. We don't know how long this will stay. And the next one is then, once we do this, order to activate it, more kind of accelerated of our practices, then we have to leave according here in the teaching said, homelands. We have to have homeland or our birthplace. If I use word as our birthplaces. This is also applying to this, why we have to leave the birthplaces, because that birthplace has a lot of habit patterns, lot of kind of habit patterns of the easy to grow, easy to activate our negative emotions, such as then ignorance, attachment, and anger. This birthplace. This is also applying in ancient times. And now modern is different, particularly in this country, is quite different. But in ancient time, for example, in Tibet or the ancient time, people where you take the birth or where you're born, they kind of basically stay there. But throughout the generations, they've been there for a long time. Generation to generations. And throughout the generations, there is so many stories. In that places, that areas, that places, there is a friend, there is enemies, there is enemy and friend and so forth. And then there becomes like also kind of like become traps, like very heavy traps of the negative emotions, such as then as such a friend become kind of a source of so much attachment, clinging clingings, and then enemies kind of become also a subject of hatred, and then take to revenge and so forth. And throughout my ancestral time did something this, I have taken revenge. Nobody else is able to do my past times, I'm going to take revenge. I mean, so forth. Those stories goes on and on in the ancient of these places. So therefore, then should leave the hometown is the place. There's so many these negative emotions comes. So and that is what here says. The patient toward the friend. Patient toward the friend, patient toward the friend churns like the water, hatred toward the enemy burns like fire. Through the dark ignorance and forget what to adopt and what to reject, and the abandon one's homeland or the birthplace is the practice of the Bodhisattva. That's what it says. So therefore, first of is again is the attachment. Attachment generally, what means the attachment? Attachment is the grasping and clinging. Attachment is become the opposite of the true love. True love. True love is like Bodhisattva in the always in the teaching here. I mean, this is the one of principal explanation of the loving kindness. Bodhisattva loving kindness is the brilliant as the sunlight. Sunlight to everywhere. There is no partialities. It's no so clear, so beautiful, and brilliant to all. But the attachment is become the negative emotions. Even though surface looks kind of like love and kindness, that, but deep down it is grasping and clinging emotion. Anything that can turn into the opposite of love and compassion. That is what the attachment is. It's so regiment, so grasping, clinging. Clinging, it is also deep. Deep is gluey and not let to go. It like maybe I've used examples like octopus can hold. Once hold, then is hold, and has no any other rooms. Becomes so narrow, so regiment, so restricted, and that's it. That is totally opposite of the true loving kindness. Love is connected with compassion. Love is connected with wisdom. And like brilliant sun, like blue sky, as like today, radiating to everyone, it brings warm, calm, relaxed, joy, and peaceful, soothing, calming. Not just a short time, all the time, forever. That is true love. That we need, and not attachment. So, therefore, then attachment is one of the source of the negative emotion. It's grasping, clinging. That we have to release. Bring more love, more genuine love, unconditional love. Love that has no grasping, clinging. That is. And then, and also, so that is what this power of the attachment does. And then this fire, like this raging fire like anger, when it comes, what is burns? It burns all the joy and peace, happiness that you created or we created. The years we created happy and joy and peace environment, nice good home or homey, all that can be burned down one instant. Raging fire of the anger. Anger is so disturbance, so destructions. And the Buddha teaching said, and therefore what the great Master Shantideva said, there's nothing worse than negative emotion than the anger. There's nothing powerful practice than the passions. Passion, that's what great Master says, true. It will burn all the friendships, all the joy and peace that you made so much effort to build up that. It can be completely ruined out in just one instant, in the short moment. That is what the power of this anger is. Where it's coming from? It's from our mind. Negative habits, habit patterns. That is what. And then, when that, where that's all coming? Is coming from the ignorance, unknowing situations, ignorance, darkness, that don't see exactly clear what things to do, or what is good or what is bad. That darkness was ignorance. This. So that can be easily developed as our hometown or the birthplaces. Places, therefore, give up the homeland or the birthplaces. Is the practice that will kind of like you remove the ties of that string, and then that will bring more freedom. Our mind is less, and so that is practice of the Bodhisattvas. That is second practice of Bodhisattvas. And the next one, I go to again to next ones here. The next one is then now you have the beautiful opportunity as like precious human body, 18 endowments, as I said, and many of you will find these things you have already 18 endowments. So I didn't say all those listed names. It's kind of that. And then you also, since you have the beautiful opportunities such as the 18 endowment lives, 18 endowment of beautiful freedom lives, and then we give up the like situation and circumstances of those where the negative emotions come easily. The ignorance, attachment, anger come easily, kind of disturb our environment of the peace and happiness. That we also comes. Now what we have? Now we have to do not just leave that. That is not enough. We have to then accelerate it and more facility of the practice of the true love and compassion, wisdom and peace. In order to do this is known as then the going to the hermitage if we can. Those people who have the opportunities. And that is what? So here. And when you go to the hermitage, what? Then it will increase. Naturally we can increasing, and naturally we can strengthening our three training of the practices. Three training of the practices in Buddhism: beautiful moralities, beautiful concentrations, and beautiful wisdoms. Those all can come quite easily in hermitage. Morality can come with your ethics and system. Ethics and morality also can activate it nicely, easily, because there's too many distractions. And then also concentration also can come, or practice can come very nicely there, because there's not too many distractions. And then because of that, wisdom can shine very nicely. So those are the three trainings of the practice will come quite nicely, easily that, and then as well as all the other beautiful things. And therefore this now what I said here. Said the first one is when you kind of like give when you give the place, the bad situation and circumstances here, giving up the negative places, we did this, and that is, and then mental affliction gradually decreases. And that will decrease gradually because there is no circumstances, afflictions. What are the afflictions? Afflictions are, I'm translating as negative emotions. This is the negative emotions. In Tibet it is called nyumon. Nyumon and the negative emotions gradually decreases because there's no consequence or the circumstances, conditions of the such as attachment, then attachment won't arise easily, or that grasping or clinging won't arise easily. If there is nothing kind of disturbances, anger won't come. Anger won't come. As there also no circumstances and situation, then our arrogance won't come easily. That all kind of like subside nicely because circumstances are not really there. So therefore it will decrease. Those all the disturbances of the afflictions or the negative emotions. When this don't have there, what comes? Then it will come increasing, then our practice naturally. It increases our practice naturally. And then it will bring, then when it increases the natural practices, our mind become more calm and peaceful. We will get more devotions, more certainty wisdoms, more clarity in our minds. So that will really shine more beautifully. And that is the place where it will come, where this will can come. It's then the hermitage. Hermitage will bring all those beautiful qualities. That is the hermitage. And what is actually hermitage? What the quality of the hermitage? According to the teaching. Teaching said that is, there is about, of course, many different qualities of the hermitage, but one of the kind of like very principal quality of the hermitage. What is the quality of the hermitage? The one of the quality of the, there's like, first quality of the hermitage is easy to get the support to your practices and easy to find of your necessary things. That is the first, kind of a little bit easy to find. Second quality of the hermitage is then and this is, there is no disturbances of such as robbers or the gangsters of the beings, and so this and as well as also not wild animals and gangster robbers. That is second quality of the hermitage. Third quality of the hermitage is the place that is so nice it won't develop disease, sicknesses. Area is quite clean, perfect, beautiful, not easily develop the sickness, disease. That. And the fourth quality of the hermitage is there is Sangha members. Sangha members who has a similar characteristics or the moralities and share the similar ideas, similar philosophies, similar practice. That is the fourth quality of the hermitage. The fifth quality of the hermitage is during the daytime there's not so many busy and noises, and as well as at night. So quite calm, quiet and peaceful. Those are five are the principal qualities of the hermitage. When you reach that hermitage, what we do? We practice, and that is we practice. We bring great joy and appreciation ourselves. Joy and appreciation. One of the beautiful. How I'm fortunate. How I'm lucky that I have this great opportunity. Now I'm going to increase my understanding, knowledge, bring more peace and joy in my heart and so again that share to all my family, friend and beings. I'm going to be one of the very beautiful beings I like to make. Please blessed by the Buddhas and Bodhisattva, every enlightened beings to fulfill that. So that with that attitude and then practices. Then of course there's many hermitage, many kind of like secret places such as the Buddha's blessed land by the Buddha Shakyamuni or the Ngorapema Sambhava, others, and those secret places are also known as hermitage. But I will just, what I said is the perfect place. Places as Great Master Buddha Shakyamuni said, the general quality of the Buddha, and that was summarized by the Great Master Maitreya Asangas. And there's famous sutra or the teaching known as Sutra Alankara. In that teaching explaining that qualities, all those five qualities, and if we have that, then increase. And when the increase of that, what in the Great Master Khenpo Rinpoche said. And you now reach to the hermitage place where you are completely quiet and peaceful. Your body is not engaging any mundane regular activity that would bring more habitual negative emotions. Your verbal communication is also completely hermitage. There's not any gossips, not any kind of what's called the delicate chattels. Delirious chattels happening. Relax, and now your mind is completely calm and peaceful. On watching to your mind, meditating, and staying in the present status. Open mind, open heart, as like blue skies. Relax. That is known as what the Great Master Khenpo. That is known as hermitage yogi and yoginis. If we are able to do this, that is then known as practice of the bodhicittas. Okay, so that is my talk this morning, and then we go to continue to the next one. I say like after that. So we're in the fourth stanzas now. Next time we'll go fourth stanzas. And thank you. I'm sure maybe you have some questions, those things, but then we don't kind of have time. It's a little shorter, so we won't have. But maybe next time, if you have some questions, you can what's called? You can Google me. Or you can email, or you can do the Google. It's true, Google will answer you. That I think. Or you can see, we see how that. But okay, thank you everyone, and thank you very much everyone wherever you are. Thank you very much, and thank you. Okay, thank you. Then we do short meditation, like 3-minute meditation, and then we. Okay, page 8, I think.
So the Mandayan Josan Josan Gidi Beman Shira Bepo
We do short dedication. By this merit, may all obtain harmony. Enemy around drawing from the stormy waves, with birth, origin, is sickness, the death. From the ocean of the samsara, may free all beings. May the source of benefit. Buddha's teachings remain for a long time. May the vector of the teachings remain for time. May all sentient beings always be joyful in all the world.
Into the lower realms cease forever. May the wishes of all beings
in this very moment for the nations of earth, may the disease, pain, war, and suffering to her. By ready may pure conduct and merit, wealth, and prosperity. May the Supreme well-being always increase. The precious Bodhisattva and those without it, meditate. And this page, number 13, may the great tradition of the Khenpo Rakhet, Lobung Pema Samba, Dharma Kang to some difference. In the rest of the three jewels and the life streams of beings remain inseparable and bring us alive well-being throughout the three times. The parades and guidance, the display of the Buddha, may practice Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you, muchas gracias. Thank you, Taki Dele, Tugiche, adios, next time. See you, thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, please, thank you.